Hey guys, Sonic Smash Bros. Here, and before we continue Pokemon Generation 1, let's do a quick arcade mode run. As some of you know by now, I love me some fighting games. And my personal favorite of the traditional fighters, without a doubt, good old Street Fighter. So we're looking at one of my favorite entries in the entire series, Street Fighter Alpha 2. Sadly, it's the Super Nintendo version, since that's the only one I own. It's the only one I can play right now, even. Now, fair warning, I'm probably going to suck. You may notice my laptop's reflection in the background. Once again, I have to record off the laptop. I know I said to get that 3DS repaired by the end of this month, and it's the end of the month when I'm recording this, but let's just say we had some major delays. But, work with what you have. So, I'm recording the game screen and game audio off of the gamepad, while playing the game on the TV while playing the classic controller. Usually I play with the gamepad. Anyway, I plan on doing multiple arcade mode runs for Alpha 2, but for this one we're going Chun-Li. Interesting little Easter egg I want to show off first. If you hold start and select Chun-Li, you can play her classic outfit from the Street Fighter 2 days. And this is not just a cosmetic change either. This actually changes her Kikoken input. Normally in this game it's half circle forward and punch. When you change her outfit to the classic one, it's charge back, forward, and punch. Now for this little demonstration, there's actually something I want to talk about, and that's with my recording setup for any and all fighting game arcade runs. This is probably what I'm going to be using. Playing off the laptop, recording off the laptop, gameplay screen and game audio off the gamepad, while playing with the classic controller, if I can. Because, work with what you have, and I'd rather not split it into multiple parts. Now, full disclosure, I'm not the best with Chun-Li. Wide open. Hell yeah. Alright, let's make sure everything's still recording. Okay, good. So yeah, that was the classic outfit demonstrated, but we're not going to be using that. We're also going to be toning the difficulty down, because normally I play on 8-star difficulty with this game, because Alpha 2 is one of the few Street Fighter games I'm actually pretty decent at. At least as far as I'm aware. Now, I know I'm not the absolute best with Alpha 2, but I feel like I can do something with it. And for the purpose of these arcade mode runs on recording, I'm going to be using the default colors, although I do use certain colors, much like a lot of the pros do. But either way, let's get this started. Hey Ken, you're actually one of the ones I intend on doing an arcade mode run with. Now the big four in this game, let me get this out of the way right now. Chun-Li, Rose, Ken, and Ryu. Yes, when the Shoto characters didn't suck. Take notes, Street Fighter 5. I'm sorry, I have to harp on that because Shotos are basically the core of Street Fighter. Why would you nerf them that as badly as you did? Just saying. No. Quick little demonstration there, alpha counters. They were in Alpha 1, although fairly limited. Each character gained a second alpha counter in Alpha 2. And Alpha 3 toned down alpha counters in terms of, I think, their damage output and just all-around viability. Street Fighter V's sort of equivalent V-reversals are kind of weak. They're not outright useless, some of them are good, like Minot's, new character by the way. But most of them are pretty bad, because they can easily be baited and they're kind of slow. Anyway, Chun-Li in this particular game is more aggressive than her other versions. Yeah, you may notice that I was just doing both a level 1 and a level 2 super. Level 2 earlier and level 1 there. That's because the strength of the super will actually depend on the amount of buttons pressed for that particular input. For instance, for Kikosha, which we saw earlier when I was demoing the classic outfit. Oh! Got every hit too, holy shit. But yeah, there you go, there's a full demonstration. Her Kikosha is 2/4 circle forward and punch. You want 1 punch for level 1, 2 for level 2, and all 3 for level 3. It rarely ever happens on the classic controller, at least for me. I am not good with this controller. I'm okay with it, but I'm not amazing with it. And Katana, we ran into him earlier. That is a name change, exclusive to the Super Nintendo version of Alpha 2. In Alpha 1, Alpha 3, and every other version of Alpha 2, he's known as Sodan. The less said about that name meaning, the better. And watch this video not get monetized, although I never plan on monetizing my videos. I just do this because, why not? I enjoy what I do. Plain and simple. Anyway, regarding her Kikoken input I was mentioning earlier and how it's changed with the classic outfit, Capcom cannot seem to make up their mind what input they want to give her. When she gained the move in the Genesis version of Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition, it was half circle forward punch, which they kept for Turbo Hyper Fighting. Super Street Fighter 2 The New Challengers changes it to being a chargeback forward and punch motion, which she kept in Super Turbo. The Alpha Trilogy changes it back to half circle forward and punch. There's the Alpha counter that Sodom had in Alpha 1, by the way. Booyah. But yeah, the Alpha Trilogy changed it back to half circle forward punch, which she kept for Street Fighter 3 Third Strike because she was not in New Generation or Second Impact. The Street Fighter 4 versions change it back to charge back forward and punch, and then Street Fighter 5 again changes it back to half circle forward and punch. So again, Capcom cannot make up their damn mind. I know Chun-Li has one more super. If I can demonstrate it, I'd like to. The problem with this final super is it's a fucking diagonal charge. There we go. Landed, actually. Oh the hell, nice. Yeah, that's her final super, but there is one other thing about this game that makes her really freaking good. Yeah, inputs don't seem to come out that easily for me on a classic controller. I'm again more used to the gamepad. What do you expect? But there you go. You've seen all of her supers, all 3 of them, that is. Each character has at least 2. Some have 3, and if you want to get technical, Akuma has 4. Charlie, known as Nash in Japan, or Charlie Nash if you're going by his full name in Street Fighter V. Kind of a cop-out, I know. Now, here's the weird part. Most of the time, I prefer Guile's playstyle over Nash, because Nash is always going to be aggressive, and I'm going by his Japanese name when I say this. Meanwhile, Guile's more defensive but can play offensive, which is what I do. Come on, I'm trying to do a freaking. There we go. And of course, he freaking challenges it. Input reading bastard. Yeah, sometimes fighting game AI can be a little input read happy. Get out of the corner. Ooh, that'll do good damage. I was trying to do a follow-up. And one of the only uses Kikosho actually has. But yeah, I usually prefer Guile to Nash in terms of playstyle, but I'll always prefer Nash's Alpha 2 theme over Guile's classic Street Fighter 2 The World Warrior theme, which is really weird because I love Yoko Shimomura's music. Yeah, she's actually the one who composed the original Guile theme. Along with most of the tracks for Street Fighter 2 The World Warrior, that includes Ryu and Ken's theme as well. Well, their respective themes anyway. She also did, I want to say... I know she did Super Mario RPG music, I know she did some of Xenoblade Chronicles. Most people will know her for Kingdom Hearts. I screwed that up royally, but what that activation was just there was the custom combo mode. Introduced in Alpha 2, brought back again for Vism in Alpha 3, and then again for A-Groove in Capcom vs. SNK 2. If I can land my actual custom combo, you'll see why they had to tone down the combo system for Alpha 3. And Zangief. Here we go. Might be a rival match, I'm not sure. Not quite yet. Because there is a rival match, depending on the character, and a secret boss. Let's just hope we don't run into said secret boss. I'm just saying. Anyway, Zangief is pretty much the most major grappler of the series, and as tradition with grapplers, they tend to have a hard time getting in against zoning characters. But if, like me, you prefer to play aggressive, then Geef can actually be kind of a threat. Or, actually no, what I prefer to do is something I like to call the gear shift. I switch between zoning and offense on a dime, and you don't know when I'm going to do it. Perfect! Although perfects order actually going to matter. If I get 2 more, I'm probably going to regret it. Making absolutely certain everything is still recording. And here we go. Mix-ups. Don't care about the custom combos at this point, I just want to go for the damage. Come on, go for double perfect. Double perfect! You're not sorry. I'm not either, it's freaking Zangief, what do you expect? Funny enough, Chun-Li and Geef were actually the first 2 Street Fighter characters I ever played, and that was years ago. Birdie, considered bottom tier in this game. No, seriously, Birdie's actually worse than Dan. And rival match. In Chun-Li's case, it's Gen. Sadly, this means we don't get to hear Gen's awesome theme, because I love Alpha 2's soundtrack, and Gen's theme is one of the best ones. As for Gen himself, he's considered low tier, but I'd argue that's more because of his learning curve, which is the highest learning curve of any character in the series. Yeah, most characters you can know about 60 to 70% of their stuff and still do pretty well. With Gen, that's not the case. You have to know pretty much everything, but once you do learn everything, Gen can be a force to be reckoned with, and also at the same time a force to be feared. Watch Razor Shen play Gen in Ultra Street Fighter 4 and you'll see what I mean. I guarantee you when SF5 again does come around, as DLC, you can bet Shen will be picking him back up. God, Chun's head stomp in this game is annoyingly good. As is her jumping roundhouse, which was seen just there. Gonna save my meter just so I can try him in my custom combo. Yeah, her crouching medium kick in this game is both special cancelable and super cancelable. We saw it earlier. Alpha 3, I know took away the special cancel. I'm not sure if it took away the super canceling or not. And if it did, it makes the move useless. Outside of being used as a poke, but that gets outclassed by her standing medium punch. Oh, that's gonna hurt. That actually did just kind of prove something I want to mention here. The higher the difficulty you put, the higher the damage scaling is. I swear, is this a freaking throw loop victory? Alpha counters can actually kill in this game. Did not mean to do that, but I'll take it. That was basically the Street Fighter V problem. Throw loops are ridiculous. And I think that was a meaty standing medium punch. I meant to activate custom combo, but whatever. Making sure everything is still recording just fine. Seems to be. And now for Birdie himself. Kinda hoping for no more perfects, because one more perfect and we can get the secret boss. Which, again, I'm going to regret it on this controller. Okay, so far so good. I'm not getting hit on purpose, it's just that I'd rather not fight the secret boss on this controller. Then again, if I'm going to be fighting him with any character, I'm fighting him with Ryu. Full demonstration of both her alpha counters. The sweep was the one she had in Alpha 1. Every character in Alpha 1 had a sweep alpha counter. Alpha 2 gave everybody a second one. The second one is 99% of the time better than the first. As you may have noticed from my uses of it, alpha counters do cost 1 bar of super meter, but that doesn't matter too much because you can build meters so fast in Alpha 2 anyway. Yeah, that's kind of like I was saying though about the difficulty thing. The higher the difficulty is in this game in particular, I'm not sure about Alpha 1 or 3. The higher the damage scales, as in you take more damage, your opponent takes less. At least that's what it feels like. But that did kind of prove a point, because I got hit with Gen's level 3 super earlier. That would have done a lot more damage in frickin' 8-star difficulty. And again, alpha counters can actually kill in this game. Most of them trade, though. At best. Oh, shit! Now shit gets real. Akuma. Oh, God, here we go. May as well talk about him since I plan on doing an arcade mode run with him. Akuma, master of the Satsui no Hado, which translates to, and I'm not kidding, surge of murderous intent. This is basically the dark side of the Ansatsuken fighting style, which is the one practiced by Ryu and Ken. Initially designed as a means to murder, and that's what Akuma is using. I'm not kidding you, that's what it was designed as. I'm going off the lore when I say this. So, there you go. The way Ryu and Ken were taught it, it was designed more around martial arts and honor. Akuma, well, let's just say right now he's holding back. I mean holding back in terms of his actual power. Akuma is actually considered the strongest character in the Street Fighter lore. No joke. And the Super Nintendo butchers this theme. It is way more epic than frickin' Alpha 2 Gold. Teleport back right into it. That was a hard read. Now, I already am pretty sure of who the next battle is for Chun-Li, because at the end of an arcade mode run, depending on the characters, some battles are set. Either 0, 1, or 2 are set, not counting the final fight. Because the final fight, no matter the character, is always set. But it's fights 6 and 7 that can potentially be set. In the case of Ryu, it's always Ken, Sagat, Akuma in that order. Speaking of Akuma, he also knows the forbidden art of the Satsui no Hado itself, the Shungoku Satsu, or as we know it in English, the Raging Demon. The Japanese name translates to, and I'm not kidding, instant hell murder. Oh, the son of a bitch blocked it. Damn you. There we go. Now, we don't actually get to see what happens with the Raging Demon itself until Street Fighter V. Knowing it makes it all the more terrifying. He will literally infuse his fists with the very essence of the Satsui no Hado itself and punch the ever-living hell out of his opponent's vital points. Not even kidding you. Yep, Ryu, called it. Set and counter, I'm confirming it right now. And let me just say this. The Super Nintendo version of this particular entry butchered Ryu's theme in comparison. Seriously, look up the Alpha 2 Gold version if you get the chance. It is gorgeous. And Ryu's theme in general has always been one of the most iconic tracks in video game history. Alright, that's one round down. Now, Ryu himself, unlike in Street Fighter V, at least as of right now, is a force to be reckoned with and a force to be respected. You pretty much have to play the ground game against him. If you're jumping in, don't try to press a button. That's gonna happen every time. Ow. Well, almost every time anyway. And he's down. Alright, making sure everything is still recording. Seems that way so far. And we're coming to the end, and thankfully we did not get the third perfect. Remember when I said Akuma was holding back? Yeah, by getting to the end with 3 perfects, and without losing a round, there's also one other stipulation I'll talk about later, you take on Shin Akuma right before your final fight. And he's a fucking pain in the ass. Anyway, for Chun-Li's final battle, M. Bison. Or Lord Bison, as Chun-Li calls him here. Apparently he knows something about her father. Don't ask questions if you aren't prepared for the answers. Oh, God. I really hate to tell you this, Chun-Li, but you set yourself up big time for this one. For you, The day Bison graced your village was the most important day of your life. But for me, it was Tuesday. I'm sorry, I had to reference that. That line is so cheesy that I had to bring it up. Now, interestingly enough, Bison's AI is kind of quirky. He always has certain tells as to when he's going to do something. Sometimes he won't exactly follow those tells, but they're close enough to where you know what he's going to do. I'm going to try saving my meter. At this moment, I'd rather try doing my custom combo. Actually, it doesn't work on Bison. Shit. Yeah, the custom combo I normally use on Bison does not on Bison. For Chun-Li does not work on Bison because of his fat hurt box. And normally he's not this bulky, I might add. Managed to activate it, but yeah, sometimes you will see escape alpha counters. Yeah, that's an example of a custom combo, that's not the one I normally use. But yeah, the custom combo system in this game was crazy easy to utilize if you knew what you were doing. Never got to use a Psycho Crusher, I'm kinda surprised. Yeah, this is also not Bison's usual moveset. The Psycho Crusher, which is one of his most devastating specials, has been converted into a super. Now, nice attention to detail here. If you play through the arcade mode as Chun-Li with her classic outfit, she actually wears the classic outfit in this screenshot. Nice touch. I hope you'll amuse me then, more than your father did. Can you guess what happened? Yep, M. Bison killed Chun-Li's father. That's kind of why that quote both makes sense and is so damn cheesy. But yeah, with Chun-Li's arcade mode down, I may as well talk a little bit about Shin-Akuma. Also, for beating the game without using a continue, you get the credits. But yeah, Shin-Akuma is freaking cheap. No matter what difficulty you have set, he'll always act like he's on difficulty 8. Combined with what I mentioned earlier about damage scaling, yeah. Plus, being on a higher difficulty, if you press any button up close and he's got meter, he's going to input read you with his Masatsu Go Shoryu super. That was Masatsu Go Hado he showed earlier. And if it's a level 3, say goodbye to over half your health. Double Air Fireball, Double Zanku Hadouken, that's traditional Shin-Akuma. That's an upgrade that Shin-Akuma will always have. And the other stupid stipulation, depending on what color you're using, you have to be on a certain player side to even attempt going after him. Like with the color I usually use for Ryu, which is the R button, on a Super Nintendo controller, I have to be on the player 2 side. The same would apply with A and B. For any color with L, X, or Y, or hitting 2 at once, which is what I normally do for my Chun-Li color, you have to be on the player 1 side. I have no idea why that stipulation even exists. It just does for some stupid reason. And, as tradition with a Shin-Akuma fight, you only get one shot. If you lose to him, you have to play through the entire game over again just to fight him again. And even then, you have to keep the stipulations in mind. And if you do lose to him, you're not viewing the credits. So yeah, if you want to go after Shin-Akuma, good luck. But with that, that is Chun-Li's arcade mode run done. And next time, I'm not sure whether it'll be another arcade mode run, or if we can finally return to Pokemon Generation 1. But, with all that said and done, until next time, later guys.